Do you think that right now the nation needs you to express that same sort of comfort and healing that some people need to heal?
Right now, I think the nation needs law and order. We can't allow a situation like happened in Minneapolis to descend further into lawless anarchy and chaos. Law and order will prevail. The looters, there's looting. You do have looting.
These people, it's Antifa. It's a lot of radical left bad people.
Exploiting this tragedy to loot, rob, attack, and menace. Hatred, chaos, rioters, looters, and anarchists. Violence and vandalism led by Antifa, radical left-wing groups terrorizing the innocent, destroying jobs, burning down buildings. The mobs are devastating the life's work of good people. Anarchy. Criminals and vandals wreck our cities and lay waste to our communities. Mob violence. Radical left criminals, thugs, an angry mob. Angry mobs. It is essential that we protect the crown jewel of American democracy, the rule of law. Violence, mayhem, and disorder. An angry mob rioting. I am your president of law and order. Professional anarchists, violent mobs, arsonists, looters, criminals, rioters, Antifa, dangerous thugs, domestic terror, anarchy, hatred, chaos, rioting and looting, destruction and arson, riots and lawlessness spread throughout our country. Rioting, looting, vandalism, assaults, and the wanton destruction of property. Terror, Antifa, and others who are leading instigators of this violence. One law and order, and that is what it is. One law. We have one beautiful law. You have a bad group of people out there, and they're using George Floyd, and they're using a lot of other people to try and do some bad things. We need toughness, and we need law and order. We have Antifa, we have anarchists, we have terrorists, we have looters. We have a lot of bad people in those groups. And if you watch fake news CNN, it's almost like these are the most wonderful people on earth. They're not. Right. When you look at the real clips, they're not. There are a lot of bad people. There are a lot of really, really bad people in there. Radical left, crazy people, people that don't want good for our country. We need safety in our cities, and when they don't take care of it, we took care of it in Washington, D.C. They took care of the situation very easily. It was very easy for them. In Minnesota, as you know, we took care of that situation. We took care of it very easily. Once they came in, it was like a knife cutting butter. It was so easy. I watched these protesters jumping on top of each other by the thousands, screaming and ranting and raving. The crime and the stores being broken into and the looting, people being hit over the back of the head, kicked unmercifully. I never saw anything like it. Kicked and beaten up and probably going to die. A woman who gets hit by a 2x4. Nobody ever mentions that. The looting and everything, I am law and order, they're not. If they're not for law and order, you're gonna lose the country. I hope that you also use our National Guard. Call me, we'll be ready for them so fast, their heads will spin. We did it in Minnesota. They were ripping that place apart, and I called the governor, and the National Guard went in, and one night it was over. You don't see the problem in Minnesota now at all, not even a little bit. You have to dominate the streets. You can't let what's happening happen. It's called dominate the streets. You can't let that happen in New York where they're breaking into stores.
Henry, why don't you have a plan to systemic racism? Henry, why haven't you laid out a plan to address systemic racism?
I'd like to sign this bill. What's happened to our country and what you now see, it's been happening, is the greatest thing that can happen for race relations, for the African-American community.
What's your plan?
Because our country is so strong, and that's what my plan is. We're going to have the strongest economy in the world.
Black unemployment went up by 0.1%. Asian American unemployment went up by 0.5%. How is that a victory?
You are something.